I have, as many know, been a supporter of racinos and casinos since day one. In my district, there are many people who live in my district that are employees and former employees of the Raynham Taunton Dog Track. And it broke up my heart and many of my constituents' heart when the ballot question passed on the dog track racing, the greyhound racing, and 600 people lost jobs in my area. With this bill here, I'd like to just specifically address a couple of things, and I would like to start with the simulcasting extension, because no one has mentioned that yet. Tonight at midnight, the simulcasting ends, and the people who currently work at the tracks will be jobless. I would ask that since the extension for simulcasting is a 2-year extension, and I have spoken with the good chairman about this, that we have possibility of an emergency preamble on this issue so that those people won't have to wait 3 months to go back to work. So I basically am asking, requesting that of the leadership. I'd like to state also that I have no problem with the 3 geographically located casinos. I had expected that. I live on the South Shore, and I imagine there will be one large facility down there since we have a lot of open land. But while I am in support of this bill and will be voting for it, I am somewhat disappointed that we only have the 2 licenses for slots at the 4 existing racetracks, because that'll go up to the competitive bid process, and someone's districts are going to lose, and many people in districts are not going to go back to work. And I do wish we had looked at it differently, and we looked at it as some other states. But I understand anytime you have a bill as large as this, and even as controversial as this, everything is a little bits and pieces of people's opinions, so you could come to a compromise bill. And I understand that in the compromise bill, you cannot be happy with everything that's in it. But I accept the bill because it's a large step forward. And I hope that in the process that we do a couple of really good things. And to remind people once again that the money from the slot machines at the racetracks is devoted to local aid. And I think that is a fantastic thing that we have done and something great that we should stand upon and mention to our constituency. I think the fact that $77.5 million of the licensing fees monies will go to the local aid stabilization fund. We are always thinking of our communities and thinking of ways that we can keep our police employed, our fire employed, our city and town workers, that we can keep things such as what we're talking on the South Shore right now, mosquito control, because EEE is rampant down on the South Shore. I think it's wonderful that 15% of this money in this gaming revenues is going to go to education. When you consider that the community colleges put out all of their graduates stay right here in Massachusetts to work and thereby pay taxes, that is a wonderful thing. And we cannot take any giant steps forward in the state of Massachusetts if we don't continue to have an educated workforce. And that just makes sense. And the other piece of it being that we need an educated workforce just for the future to be paying into Social Security to do the best we can to keep that solvent. And that is another very good thing that this bill will have done. And also, the percentage of money that will go to local capital projects. Every one of us has in our district something near and dear to the heart of our constituents in that town that we need funding for. I'm fighting right now for funding for sidewalks, which I did get in a bond bill, but I'm not quite sure it will be bonded. And I'm fighting for a new science building at Massachusetts Community College. And those capital projects would be a big boon. And in the town of West Bridgewater, other capital projects would be the reconfiguration of the downtown. So I am hoping that once these things come up online, once the money starts to come in, and our towns and cities and towns get to see how they benefit, that they will be pleased with that. And I am asking that the membership support it. I think that, as I said, it's a compromise bill. And with this compromise, we've ended up with a bill that means jobs for our constituents, revenues for our community, and an opportunity to get our economy moving again. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I hope that this bill passes.